This is Sid Okaiba, and thanks for listening to It's Recording Time Media, the most pathetic show you could listen to. You really should be listening to something I do, like KaibaCorp.com.
Hey guys, well, it's time for me to finally talk about everything that happened to me leading up to going to Power Morphicon Express. And it's time, or it's recording time. Well, guys, I first learned about Power Morphicon Express at the Power Morphicon 2018, like the first time I was ever going. And of course, on the second day, when they announced this, that they were trying to take the show on the road, and this was actually going to be led by Jason David Frank. And for him to be the face of the brand and to help do this, I mean, this is like similar to Stephen Amell starting Heroes and Villains Fan Fest. And for this, well, they decided to have the first show like closer to JDF's hometown in Texas, Pasadena, Texas. And for me, at first, I was confident saying that, yeah, I'm gonna go. But as I got closer to the date, guys, I started developing like all this anxiety and like this anxiety saying that, hey, I told myself I was gonna go, but why is this happening? Like all this feeling, like this nervousness that I was feeling leading up to the day, like even if I was gonna go or not. And it's like, I had trouble like saving the money I needed for my plane ticket. And, it's like, how much this trip's gonna cost me and how it's gonna, impact on me and everything. Guys, took me a while, but I paid for the trip with my YouTube revenue, or actually from that little semi-viral video I have of Sean Shemo's opinion about Team 4-Star. And of course, guys, like I was able to get the money on time, and just 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave, I got my plane ticket from Southwest, which thank you. I mean, thank you to Southwest for having, non-stop flights. Like I was able to get from San Jose, my hometown, to Houston, Texas at the Hobby Airport with no problem, guys. Like, non-stop flight. And, I got my ticket like 2 weeks like before the event started, guys. I did not even get it like a month or anything like that, guys. And then I booked my motel, and then I was double checking with a PR for Power Morphicon. Like I wasn't, it's because I submitted an application like so early, guys, that I feel like they didn't get it. Then I submitted again, but one thing I didn't pay attention to was that registration was closed. But a couple days after that, I got a message from Lauren Stone that even though she wrote that I missed the deadline, she let it slide and let me, do my press thing there. Thank you, Lauren. Shout out to you. And I was thinking, oh, what a relief. It's good being a friend of the show. And, it's like, got by the days leading up to this event, like leading to me, like on my about to fly out. I had to talk with my dad, and I was telling him about the trip, and he was telling me, aren't you scared? And I was telling him, yeah, I'm scared. I mean, I'm going to another state for the first time completely on my own, guys. No family, nothing like that whatsoever in Texas, guys. I was nervous. When the time came on that Friday, I packed my bags. I headed to the airport, and, I got on a plane for the first time in my life in 16 years, guys. And there's a little build up to it, like how I accidentally had liquids with me when I was TSA was checking me, and they told me, oh, no liquids allowed, because, I had a water bottle with me, which, got that dump. And then I just waited at the gate for my flight, waited for like 2 hours, because, they say show up like 2-something hours before your flight, blah, blah, blah. I did, and, I got on that plane, guys, and here's footage of it. it's like, during that whole flight, I felt like all this nauseousness because, it's like, the feeling you get because, it's like 16 years of going without on a plane. It's like, I guess that's the feeling we all get. And after a 4 hour flight, I got to Houston, and the first thing I did was Uber to the motel, got in, no problems. And then I went to this barbecue place where I got some fish and chips kind of thing. And then there I posted a message on my Instagram thanking all the people that led up to me, my cosplayer friends, my organizers from other cons that helped me get to this event, and so on. And then I just slept, woke up the next morning, had a somewhat balanced breakfast, headed to Power Morphicon. I headed to the Pasadena Convention Center. I saw a couple of Rangers that were checking in, and then I'm in there, guys. I got in, and here's some look at it. And for me to get in there, it's like the nauseousness went away. And the first thing I see is, I see some familiar faces like Nakia Burris. I see Miss Catherine Sutherland. I saw Brendan Mejia, a good friend of mine, and so on. And then finally see Jason David Frank here, guys. And one of the differences for JDF at this con is because he's technically co-founder. He kind of was calling all the shots around here. Like you see him walking around with the walkie-talkie, like checking in on everyone, like not just on the guests but everyone, like his ranger friends. And he had this beefy security guard with them. And it's like how it's like JDF's doing a good job and how he's evolved, I guess. I mean, this isn't a con where he's the guest. He's like running the show, guys. And JDF, he had the longest line, and every now and then he would get off from his table and quickly high five or hug the children there. What a God bless that man. And then half the words, I was just walking around trying to get interviews from some Rangers, and some of them said like only an interview if I buy an autograph or a selfie, which that caught me off guard, guys, because it's like I don't have money for all the Rangers to get interviews from or their autographs. And some Rangers I actually specifically have something like, say, for them to sign that I don't have, like the Power Rangers Ultimate Visual History book, like, which I still don't even have, guys. Like, even for me not to have this book, I'm like, come on, Steven, you're better than that. I gotta work on that. And of course, it's like, I just waited around waiting for the first panel. Well, actually, the first thing I covered was Brendan Mejia's How to Move Like a Ranger. And, here's some look to it. I mean, Brendan's a good guy. It's like, I love having him on the show. And then after that, I covered the first panel, which was moderated by Jason David Frank's daughter, Jenna Ray Frank. And, there was a lot of people that were, not say hating on Jenna, but saying, like, why does she have to moderate? Why is she even involved? I mean, it's like she's only there because of JDF, like, nepotism. Did she really earn her way there? I mean, Jenna's a sweet girl. I mean, come on, we can't, like, hate on her for that. But, well, anyway, I covered the first panel that had Catherine Sutherland, Aaron Kao, and Nakia Burris. It's like, I'm fine women. And, pretty much at Power Morphicon, I just covered panels in between, tried to catch some action, and that was pretty much it for the first day, covering. That's all I really do, guys. And then the second day, which, very awkward to me, waiting until like 10:40 to check in on my flight to get home, which, gonna have to do, guys. Next time I'm getting that early bird thing. And just like on the second day, I just, covered the whole con like I normally do, get some interesting thing. One of the biggest things I recorded was the Turbo reunion, but in this case it was a Zeo reunion because Blake Foster had to leave early that day to catch his flight home, which hopefully got home. One of the things that everyone was worried about that day was the so-called severe thunderstorm that was going on. Like, everyone got a little text alert saying that there was a tornado warning gonna happen, and some people were very concerned, and they asked the staff. A couple of staff there were from, California, so they're not used to this and had no idea what to do, but eventually, the tornado was nowhere near us, guys, and it's like how it just passed by us like that. It's like, Texas weather just goes by fast, guys. And of course, some people were very concerned, and then they told us that the panel room we were at was actually kind of the emergency shelter, which, well, I think so, but I feel like there wasn't a lot of, I feel like maybe JDF should have been a little more concerned about, the fans' safety from the weather, but I think we're all really safe, guys, but still scary. I mean, for me, it's like, ugh. And then, I just covered the con, and towards the end, I, bid farewell to JDF and told him about Silicon Valley Comic-Con for him to come. And I told him how they keep milking that Jason Momoa is going to be there, and he said, who needs Aquaman? And for me, it's like, after that, I just went straight to my motel room and just patiently waited until the next day to fly back home, guys. I mean, that's like, I thought about getting a flight back on Sunday, but I feel like I wouldn't have, like, say, a nonstop flight home. So I just waited all night, and I just had all these thoughts in my head. Like, I had trouble sleeping. I kept being in and up a lot that night, like until like at least 1 a.m. But eventually I crashed down and got up at 6. Like, I know this sounds weird, but I showed up to my flight like 4 hours early because I didn't know how Houston traffic is. When I tried to ask one of my Uber drivers, and they told me it's kind of like LA traffic, goes on long. But I got on the Uber and it only took a 20-minute ride to the airport, which not too bad, but still, you can never be too careful. So I, checked through TSA, and then I waited like almost 4 hours for my flight. And I, they actually changed the gate of my flight, so I moved to the other one. And there were other people complaining, and they were talking about what happened yesterday. So if I tried to leave even that Sunday night, I probably couldn't have gotten on my flight. Like, I probably would have gotten delayed or canceled because of the weather, because the airport wasn't willing to gonna take the risk. But still, I'm at least glad that waited until Monday, and then just waited for my flight. Got on the flight and, headed back home, guys. And I made it back in one piece. Man, this was an overwhelming experience for me, guys. I mean, I can't believe I did it. I got to go to a con out of California, be on a plane, get JDF's respect. And ever since I've covered the event, I've been sharing all my stuff on my Instagram story. And it's like, how either JDF or the Power Morphicon Instagram keeps sharing my stuff on their stories, which it means like I really accomplished something, guys. And I'm glad that I was able to do this, and I got the respect for the Rangers telling me, hey, thank you for filming us. And it's like, this is it, guys. I'm like almost on the path of developing a good relationship with the Rangers. Well, except for Steve Cardenas, Rocky, which, good. I mean, this has been an overwhelming experience for me, guys, and I'm very glad I took the risk, guys. I mean, I have you guys, my subscribers, the fans, everyone that supported me to this, that, I got it, guys. And it's like, for that, I'm like very grateful, guys. And in the end, all I'm going to say is, may the power protect you all. Thank you, guys.